How are you? So good to see you. It's Kirsten Liebelt. Come on in. We have a really good day planned for you. Okay, if you're on the replay, let me know you're on the replay. Let me know where you're coming in from. Do all of the likes and the subscribes and all of the things. It's a way to get like the message out, etc. I so appreciate that. You have no idea, especially people on TikTok, right? So every day we come here live, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, Monday through Friday. We have been doing this since a year ago, last February. Like we're going to come up on a 2-year anniversary here in a couple of months. Crazy that this is what we've been doing for almost 2 years. Amazing. We also have our 30th challenge happening in the group, Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women. And I always have to pause and say, make sure you put like your email in there to get in. Just that's a little FYI, tippy two, tip a rip, little tipperoo. That's what I wanted to say. Tipperoo. Anyway, and so it'll be a 30th challenge, free 5-day challenge that we do. So we're just trucking right along. That's what we're doing. Okay, so today, this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to talk about 2 different things that insulin resistance is very much affecting your universe. And I actually have 2 answers for you because they were launched today. So I can't wait to get into it. If you've already seen my stories, you probably know a little bit what I'm talking about. But I really, really want to be like, let's solve these problems. Okay, number 1, we do have to turn around the insulin resistance. Yes, we do. Okay, right? We're looking to actually turn back. We're actually looking to take back our life, take back our health, take back our function, right? That's the whole goal. That's what gets me the most excited when I wake up every morning is hearing you guys telling me your testimonies. Good morning, Patty. Good to see you. But in the meantime, we do have to deal with like some of the symptoms and the fallout of what's going on. And there are 2 symptoms that are really a big deal. And we're going to talk about them today. And I hope that you can just handle the conversation. One of them is brain fog, and I have a launch for that. And one of them is actually your libido goes away. Insulin resistance affects your libido greatly. And so we're going to talk about that too. And I have an answer for you today. So these are very exciting things because you know what? I've always told you guys from the beginning, like these are not adaptogenic herbs. However, I've said to you guys, adaptogenic herbs, like I believe that they are God's gift to us, especially as women, because when you do take adaptogenic herbs, and that can be, we can talk about that at another time. I take 2 in the morning of one kind and 2 at night of another kind, blah, blah, blah. But they help your body adapt to stress. So now let's deal with some other symptoms that we need to deal with, okay? And I think you guys are going to be super pleased with this conversation. I think it's going to be so helpful for you. Terry, good morning. Good to see you. Shirley, girl, you made it on time. I love that. Very, very good. Good morning, Susan. It is a great day. It is such a great day. I don't care if the skies are gray today. Guess what I found in my cabinet today? So we were talking yesterday about the using electrolytes. Like I put a little bit maybe in my gut primer, right? But getting like a chocolate cocoa variety, I found an Element, and this one is chocolate raspberry. So I'm telling you guys. So what you do then? This is magnesium, potassium, and sodium, and take hot water. So this is very hot water. Okay. And I'm just going to put here, I'm not even going to use a whole packet. I'm just going to put some in there. Well, I had already done one. So this one is actually the last half of that packet. So probably I got 2 out of it, and stir that into hot water. And now this is sugar-free. Okay. So Element is one, salt tea is another. I have both of them on my Amazon fave thing. But now you literally think that you are like major league cheating. It's so good. So both of those companies have like these cocoa caramel varieties. I'm here for it. So basically you can start your day or whatever. Like it's starting to get chilly in Minnesota. Like my hands are starting to get a little cold. And so it's like, it's just time to drink something. And I don't want to do coffee. This is just me. I'll drink coffee. I like coffee. I'm not against coffee. I just don't want it in the morning when I need to feel like I'm hydrating and not dehydrating. It's just a me problem. That's all. Okay. So let's chat about the two things that insulin resistance is really stealing from you and how we can naturally deal with them. And I really feel like my very, very first sign of insulin resistance that was pretty bad, was pretty intense, was in my 40s. And I was working in the medical community, and I was doing, I was working front desk, and this was a very busy, like a lot going on. So you had to be like really on your game. And I felt like my brain fog was super out of control. I had no idea that this had anything to do with insulin resistance. What? Like, I didn't even know what it was. So I couldn't multitask. And I'm like, oh, my stars. Like, I don't want people to know, blah, blah, blah. And that was kind of my very first sign of insulin resistance that I didn't know about. And it makes you feel very vulnerable. It makes you feel like, oh man, like I don't want people to know kind of how I'm having a hard time. Or my coworkers were in their 20s and here I am in my, like I'm 20 years their senior, and all of those things, right? But what we also know about insulin resistance is that as it progresses throughout the years, and this is literal, I'm not a doctor, right? So this is just my own belief system, my own opinion. And I dealt with a mama with dementia. So a lot of the things that I read and the doctors that I follow will talk about type 3 diabetes, insulin resistance of the brain. Okay. So take those two thought processes and let's get into that first conversation, which is the whole brain fog situation. Okay. Let's do that. And then I'll talk to you about a natural way to help with that, because we have a launch that took place today. So I'm very excited about this. So sometimes you might think like you used to be sharp and now you kind of like miss your words in mid-sentence. Maybe you read the same paragraph over and over again, right? Maybe you used to be able to multitask. That was my thing. I'm like, what the heck happened to me? Like I was raising 3 kids and homeschooling and multitasking like a sharp tack. And now I can't do this, right? And now you're kind of staring at your phone. You're trying to remember what you opened it up for. Things like that, right? So what happens is high insulin locks up glucose outside the brain cells. So your neurons are starving while your body is overloaded. That's why you feel foggy, forgetful, and emotionally flat. So I want you to focus in on that just a little bit. That emotion, that being emotionally flat. And if that's kind of resonating with you at all, just listen in for just a minute. Okay. So again, high insulin is locking up the glucose outside of your brain cell so that your neurons are starving while your body is overloaded. That's why you feel foggy, forgetful, and emotionally flat. So maybe that looks like mid-afternoon, you have a mental crash after coffee. Maybe you're scrolling for dopamine hits just to focus. Okay. Maybe you're snapping at people because your brain feels full but empty, if that makes any sense, right? So what just happened was one of the launches is a lion's mane. Now, some people have probably taken lion's mane for, like you're hearing about lion's mane coffee and stuff like that, right? This is a little more potent than that. This is a little more higher efficacy, if that's how you want to put that. But it's coming out of the organics line, you guys. So if you're already taking the ashwagandha, if you're already taking the turmeric, like I told you, like, I didn't even think that I needed to start taking ashwagandha because I'm like, I think whatever, I'm pretty good, blah, blah, blah. And I've never looked back. Like I didn't understand, like, and maybe I could have taken an ashwagandha from another whatever, and not had any benefits from it and wondered what the heck. But for whatever reason, this, when you take something that's actually working, actually functional like that, all of a sudden that sense of well-being that I didn't even realize was missing came back. So that's just whatever. But I'm just telling you, like when you take things that you're like, wow, these actually really work. So that exact same line is the exact same organics line. Lion's Mane just launched today. So obviously I'm ordering everything. But what happens is lion's mane is known to nourish the nerve growth. So you need to track what I'm saying. When you're talking about neurons outside of your, on the outside of your brain cells, and that how they are starving, that was the word, how they're starving because your body is so overloaded. Now bring in like this functional mushroom that has been proven to help. Hold on, my thing just moved. That has proven to help with mental clarity. It nourishes that cell, it nourishes the nerve growth. And this is what's helping your mental capacity. It helps the brain reconnect pathways that have been dulled by chronic insulin highs. I know I am so not alone in this when I talk about brain fog. You guys talk to me about this all the time, but it's because you and I, we've had years of high insulin, and that high insulin is dulling the pathways of like the neurons on our brain. And think about just what would that feel like to have that come back again, to have that mental capacity return again, right? So it helps to wake up mental clarity. You'll notice it first as things, you'll notice it first as thoughts feeling cleaner. You'll feel like your thoughts are cleaner. You're like, oh, okay. Supports memory, focus, mood. This is a nootropic. It's helping your brain's neurons. Those little wins, like remembering why you walked into the room. When your brain is getting fuel again, you're calmer, you're more productive, right? So the time frame on lion's mane in general would be like 2 to 4 weeks for subtle clarity, and then 8 to 12 weeks for noticeable memory, mood, and focus lift. Okay. So have a thought process, couple of weeks, 2 to 4 weeks, half a month to a month for, like you're starting to get some mental clarity going. And then after that, 8 to 12 weeks for noticeable memory, mood, and focus. Now, lion's mane is actually known for a lot of other things. I have a girlfriend who, she said that she was put on lion's mane last summer for her immune system. So it has a lot of benefits. So we're talking about one aspect, okay? Just so that you know, like there's a lot more to it, but we're going to stick with that, okay? So lion's mane helps you get your edge back. That's what that's helping with, okay? The mental sharpness that the insulin resistance dulled for you. Okay, so that's number one. What got launched today was the lion's mane, and we're going to go to number 2. Good morning, Magda. Good to see you. Good morning, Jody. How are you? Good to see you. Okay, so let's go to AZ Mom. So basically, I literally this morning just put together. I can take a shot. I did not put it on my site yet. It's not because I didn't mean to. It's because I was creating a pathway for you guys so I can send it to you. So if you're going to want that, then I can send you the link for the lion's mane, okay, when I get off, just to let you know. And you can always like reach out to me as well. I should have gotten that. When I get off, I will put it up on my site and I will have it clear for you. In fact, what I can do is I'll think about it. Never mind. I'll get it up on my site. I promise. But I have pathways for you guys. Like I can send you a little page with the information on it, like just like that. Okay. All right. The second thing that insulin resistance really steals a lot of from us would be, hold on. I'm going to look this up. It drains your drive, like your motivation in life. It steals your energy and it steals your libido. Okay. And this is a common conversation. I shouldn't say it's a common conversation. It's common knowledge that this is true. And both of these are both men and women, just to let you know, both the lion's mane and the next one I'm going to talk about. And it's just the way that it is. So sometimes you feel like you're exhausted, but you can't sleep, or, you just don't have any drive or motivation for intimacy at all. And it's a real frustration. So insulin is blocking nitric oxide. So you got to listen to why this is happening. Because if you can understand why, then you'll stop beating yourself up for I say this all the time. It's like, if you can understand why your hunger is out of control or why your cravings are out of control and that it's a biological response to what's going on with insulin resistance, then you'll stop being so mean to yourself and telling yourself that you're just a lame loser. Well, it's the same thing here. Like if you understand this biological connection, you'll be like, oh, okay, that makes sense. So insulin resistance blocks nitric oxide, circulation, and hormone balance. That's why we've got to get your insulin down. We've got to get things working again, right? So testosterone and estrogen both flatten. They just flatten, okay? So it kills your natural energy, your drive, your desire, and you're just thinking, I don't know. You might be thinking all sorts of things. And I just know how it goes, that negative alleyway down in our brain, right? So it kind of maybe shows up with zero motivation to work out or to be intimate. You might have cold hands, feet, sluggish circulation. You might be feeling invisible or past your prime. Okay. Now, they named it after the actual herb, and it's called horny goat weed. So it's not the name of the supplement itself, but horny goat weed and tribulus is the blend, okay, that goes together. And those are two very specific things that are very helpful in different ways. So it basically helps to turn the lights back on in systems that insulin resistance dimmed down for you. Dimmed down, okay? So this is what's happening. It's improving blood flow, which means better energy everywhere. Okay. It's helping to spark libido again by supporting healthy hormone response. Super important. Supports stamina and confidence. You'll catch yourself saying, I actually want to move again. Okay. So the time frame on that is 2 to 3 weeks, subtle energy and circulation boost, and 6 to 8 weeks, improved drive, mood, and stamina. Okay. Horny goat weed and tribulus help to feel alive in your body again. Energy, confidence, connection. So if you feel like you're flattened out, that's what that's going to help with. Okay. So insulin resistance doesn't just steal your ability to burn fat, which is what we talk about a lot, right? Hold on. I got to drink my chocolate raspberry. It's keeping me warm this morning. That feels really good. But it steals who you feel like you are. And that's what's like, God, people just don't talk about this stuff. And then we're left there as women thinking, oh man, here I thought I was going to raise my kids and I was going to hit, empty nest and, whatever. I was going to, sail off into the sunset with my husband, and we were going to have fun, and we were going to do all of these things, and we were going to have energy. Now we're like exhausted all the time, and our sleep is off, and we feel like trash, and we don't feel like ourselves. And we're like, where's that sense of well-being? And where did she go? And we've got all these things going on inside of us, and we don't really verbalize them because maybe we don't even know how. And it's so silly that we can't have simple answers to things. It's so silly. I don't understand. So lion's mane rebuilds your clarity, your mental clarity. The horny goat weed and tribulus reignite your vitality. There's a reason why they were launched on the same day. Together, they help you take back the spark that your insulin resistance dimmed. Does that make sense to you guys? So that's kind of what we're doing with those two launches today. Good morning, Sharon. Sharon in Canada. I don't even know. I'm just thinking because you jumped on. Jody, I can't say that out loud. Jody, you're so funny. Did that help Jody? She started using a testosterone replacement, and that's what this is doing naturally. This is naturally raising testosterone in a good way. Absolutely makes sense. Patty says, yep. I don't think these are launched in Canada yet. FYI, Sharon, just to let you know. I mean, I haven't looked on the Canadian website, but they just launched in the US today, so the chances are probably not great. But anyway, I'd love to know how that worked for you, Jody, using a testosterone replacement, because that is very true. You don't understand that it's not just the men who need their testosterone raised. It's not. It's the women too. And we do not know these things. This is that whole big everything's a mystery. Everything, who could possibly understand the hormones of females? Oh my goodness. And then we run from one specialist to another specialist to whatever, and we're like not getting answers, and we just feel like it's very confusing sometimes. I know how I have felt. But anyway, it doesn't have to be that way. So for both men and women, and in men, technically, this is supposed to help with ED, right? So for anybody that is looking for help with that, and I'll tell you, you might as well just dive right in and go for something that is like they have DNA tests on the lion's mane alone, like where they can the DNA of the lion's mane, because when you're using natural substances like that, like you don't want an unregulated industry to say, yeah, sure, like this has lion's mane in it, and then it has like 1 grain of sand or something like that. Like you need the potency and the efficacy, because why would you even like spend your money then? Why would you do that? So that would be ridiculous. You were told years ago that your hormone imbalance was caused by your insulin resistance. You had too high testosterone. That is interesting, Alonia. That is super interesting. I'm so amazed that they told you that. So good, actually. I mean, that's amazing. It's working, you think. Well, Jody, if you don't feel like you did a year ago, I'm just saying. So funny. But you know what? These are like super important things, you guys. Like, come on. I remember watching, by the way, I have, like I said, it's not on my site yet. I'll get it up on my site, which is my first last name.com right here. I don't know why it's not showing up for you guys here on Facebook. It's right here in this corner, right there. Usually it's right there and it's blue. And in the picture of myself below it, it's there, but it's not there for you right now. But anyway, this is my site. Okay, just to let you guys know. It's my first last name, KirstenLiebelt.com. I will get that up there. But in the meantime, if you want either the lion's mane or the horny goatweed with tribulus, or you want both, you can put that on Facebook, especially in the comments below, and I'll send you a little page that I just made for each option. And even if you want to see both, but you only want to purchase one, just uncheck the box of the one you don't want. But I remember, good morning, Marilyn from New York. Good to see you. I remember following Suzanne Summers. Do you guys remember Suzanne Summers and her whole hormone conversation? She wrote a book, something like, was it Sexy After 50? Or I don't remember the name of the book, but she wrote about this because her and her husband, Alan, kind of chronicled their journey a little bit. And she basically took back her hormones, took back her life. And it's unfortunate that she still died in her 70s because she, had overcome breast cancer and really did a lot of studying on hormones and how to eat better and all of these things. And that was one of the things that she talked about, was still being able to have like a full-on libido all the way through her life because she learned how to work with her hormones. And, nobody wants to like have something like insulin resistance come along and just steal things from you. Like nobody wants this. This is ridiculous, but we don't understand the connection because people aren't teaching it to us. You want for both? Okay, I'll do it for both. I will do that. I will do that, Lisa. Very good, Patty. Patty, do you want one or both? You just let me know. So again, we deserve to have all parts of our lives like back up and running again. And when you feel good and you actually can function at a higher level with your mind, like what if all of a sudden you started having more emotional stability? I mean, mental clarity, like that's like my old self. Right? Before we thought that, menopause or whatever was freaking us out. But now what we understand is that our high insulin insulin resistance was not only creating all the belly fat, but it was also tipping over upside down the rest of our hormones. And it just wasn't explained to us very well. Both. Okay, I will do that, Patty. So just noted that when you can start making those connections, man, you can just have such, yes, you're welcome. You can have such a full, vibrant life again. And when I am functioning, like the fact that I can still have like mental clarity and the ability to actually like enjoy taking care of my grandkids because I'm not so overwhelmed or whatever, I can see how I'm able to do things differently than my mom did. Okay. So that's the lion's mane and the horny goat weed with tribulus. And so I can get you those links, but I am going to still wrap up with the total body reset, because if you do not turn around your insulin resistance, like then you're just staying in the exact same place where it's creating the exact same issues. It's creating the exact same symptoms. And I don't think that that's where anybody wants to stay, right? So when I had to when I chose to turn around my own insulin resistance after like 30 years of doing nothing, I actually started with supplementation and not food because I'm Italian. And so that was kind of a big deal for me. I didn't know how to do that. I really honestly thought that I would never trade out my foods. I was like, yeah, pretty much not going to do that. So I started with supplementation. Now the total body reset as a whole, like this is where people get the really full testimonies. I mean, with the trio that I'll show you here, I have had somebody go from over the course of 6 months, they went from a 6 point, I can't remember the exact 6 point something on her A1C. And 6 months later, it was way down. And her doctor was like, you are amazing. What are you doing? I'm putting not diabetic in your chart. That is absolutely 100% true. But for people who are losing, like, they're losing the 50 pounds and they're in their 60s, or the 45 pounds and they're in their 70s, or, they're losing all of these inches up and down their trunk area. And, it's fixing their constipation and indigestion, all of those things. That is, that is how we get these testimonies. Marilyn, you're amazing. So Marilyn from New York says, these products seem magical. Links for both, please. I will do that, Marilyn. I absolutely will. And Marilyn, I know, is on her own journey with this total body reset. And I'm telling you, it's like, just take one step at a time, right? So it's 6 products in the total body reset. Let me show them to you very quickly. Half of it is right here. This is the trio, 3 supplements that have 3 ingredients that help with insulin sensitivity. This is where I started. Because if you can't bring down your insulin, you can't burn fat. And if you can't level up your liver function, you can't burn fat. And then, of course, your metabolism has been affected by insulin resistance. So those 3 is where I start. That's the half of the total body reset right there. One you take 3 times a day. The other you take twice a day. Then the rest of it is all powder. So this is a greens powder that is an actual gastrointestinal primer with 6 different blends. So this is not just a greens, like you're taking greens and adding it to your smoothie. And isn't that great? You're getting some like spinach and spirulina. Nope, that's not this. This is literally like so comprehensive, pre-postbiotic and digestive enzymes and fermented greens and alkaline spices, all of the things in one. And I just scoop it into cold water and drink it like a wellness shot in the morning. This has been such a game changer for so many. I feel like I think if I were to guess, it's probably my number one selling thing from people, because we've lived with digestion issues just for so long. So that's number 4. Number 5 is the probiotic powder on your tongue. Tastes kind of like the bottom of a cereal bag, but these are 5 fully alive strains that will go in and begin to recalibrate your gut. And then the very last one is the fat burner. This is what's targeting the visceral fat that's been created by the insulin resistance. And so when you have all of that fat being laid down underneath, like deep inside of you, that's when your belly is growing. That's when you're getting the, like it's literally pushing out, so to speak, because it's in your liver and around your organs and your intestines, etc. Does that make sense? So this is targeting, and we have so many tests now, meaning I have so many labs that have been given to me or shared with me from people knowing that their visceral fat is going down. Like or that their fatty liver has gone from bad to mild, things like that, right? So that's the total body reset. Those are the 6. And I will show you where you can find. I dropped it and I caught it. That's how good I am today. I'll show you where you can just find it. So if you don't want to talk to me, you don't have to. But if you want to, gosh, I am so happy to help anybody navigate. If you're like, well, I don't know if I need all of the total body reset. Maybe I just want something for my gut. Perfect. Like, you need to start where you need to start. You need to make sure that you are, because otherwise you're not going to be consistent. And that, what good does that do you? I mean, I know everything has a 6-month guarantee. This is fantastic. I mean, nobody else does that. Number one, that's great. But you need to like own your own wellness journey. I can't own it for you, but I can help you walk it. I can like help you like walk journey with you and help, to help you tweak things, or the food side of it, which is all in the group, Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women. You can get in there. We'll do another challenge in November. We do those every month to keep you on track, etc. So I'm just saying I'll do that. Are all of these in the total body reset? The lion's mane and the horny goat weed with tribulus are not. Those are 2 launches that just came out today. And so they're brand new. Those are not in the total body reset. The total body reset is made up of something to help your insulin, your liver, your metabolism, your gut, your probiotic, and your visceral fat. That's what the total body reset is. Thanks for asking that question though. But I'm going to show you, if you were to go to my site, and actually when you're on Instagram, just to let you know, right on my profile, there's a link. Right on my profile. Same with Facebook, everywhere. It's everywhere, but you have to go search for it, or just put in Kirsten, Kirsten, no space, Liebelt, Lie. So Kirsten, Liebelt.com, and you'll see my face. And then right here is exactly what I just talked about. The total body reset is right here. And I will probably, maybe what I'll do is I'll get off of here, and right above the magnesium ashwagandha, maybe right in here, I'll put the lion's mane and the horny goat weed. So it'll be easy for you to find once I get off. Okay. But you can look at the total body reset right here, or I can send you information. Same with the lion's mane, because some people, you're like, I don't, you don't need to have a conversation. Some of you are already using a lion's mane. Maybe you're just running out and you're going to try another one, or you're curious as to the difference or whatever. Some of you are just going to want to like test it and see for yourself, but that's how that goes. And then always remember, and even though I say it every day, somebody usually still checks out as a guest. And if you do check out as a guest and you don't sign up like as a free account for your customer, then you're not going to get the best shipping, and you're not going to get in on the customer campaign. And the customer campaign is when you purchase $150 or more 3 months in a row, you get $75 off your 3rd month. And that is substantial. Nobody is leaving $75 on the pavement and walking by it. Nobody's doing that. Like 75 is substantial. And so I don't want you to miss out on that. And if you're a brand new customer to me and you start here in October and you go October, November, December, what a great month to get $75 off in. Who doesn't want $75 off in December? And you're basically getting paid for your own wellness journey and being consistent. And what did we say about the time frames? Like 8 to 12 weeks to really see full effect of the lion's mane or the horny goat weed and tribulus. But then again, that's only 3 months, 12 weeks, 3 months, and it's a 6-month guarantee on the product. So literally, like, if I could say no risk, 0 risk, that's really what we're talking about. Lee, she says, my friend, I made it. Yay, from Louisiana. I won't try to say it any other way. Louisiana, yay. You are welcome, Joan. Thank you for the new information on the new products. You appreciate it. Thank you, Joan. Thank you so much. And so basically we are, they just give me violations for nothing. I don't know. We are going to see, I'll see you tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. And yeah, we'll see you again tomorrow. And if you need anything in the meantime, let me know. Don't hold yourself back. Don't sabotage yourself back from reaching out. And I do know that I'm a tiny bit behind on my DMs, not too bad, but a tiny bit. So if you have been, I will get to you. I promise. Like I'm still working through my DMs. But again, that's why I just do give my website and other alternatives for people so that if you don't have questions, you can go on and you can just order. So yes, Lee, you sure did. You missed something. You're going to have to watch the replay. There were 2 launches today, Lee. And basically, this whole live today was about the fact that insulin resistance basically steals your brain function and your, basically your vitality when it comes to sexual intimacy. And both of those products that fix that were launched today in the organics line. So one is lion's mane and one is horny goat weed with tribulus. So go back and listen. I just think you would love it. We're having a good time today. So anyway, all right. Have the best day ever, you guys. And I'm going to jump off and I'm going to send carts to people who asked me to send carts to them. Okay. So we'll see you later. Bye.